99, 98. Oh, we're, okay.
97,
Oh, we just start up there.
Jinder Mahal is still champion.
Oh my God, really? I haven't. Wow. Okay.
Oh, wow, you weren't watching? I was. It just ended like 3 minutes ago. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No. I haven't been.
Were you
following,
really expecting
like,
something different?
I haven't been following since he became champion, so I was like, I'm just shocked that he still is.
Yeah, that's still a thing that's happening.
All right, this is the world we live in. I like it. Okay. Oh, we're live now, right? Yeah, we're on this podcast.
Can you see the faces? Can you see?
I saw some faces. I'm not gonna lie to you. They were gorgeous.
Yeah.
What channel were you watching?
Because it's not this one.
No, obviously not.
Definitely not this.
So.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We are down one bones.
We are sans bones.
As per usual. As per usual.
Take a shot every time you miss a bones.
That's why I'm drunk 24/7. I always miss bones.
There's never a time in which it doesn't happen.
All right, somebody with a good voice should like actually kick this thing off, right? Isn't that how this works?
So Fallout plays. Should totally be doing it.
We doing this? All right.
Yeah,
all right, everybody. What's going on? It's Planet Destiny Podcast, episode 123. And how the hell are you? How was your weekend? Story, talk to me.
Well, you know, it's been one of those weekends where money was just flattening me, crushing my legs, and, you know, I'm lighting endless cigars with $100 bills and just putting a Ferrari on each feet and, you know, skating around the car park.
Yeah,
on each foot.
Beating Rory had to go to the hospital, actually, because he attempted the Scrooge McDuck dive into his pile of money, but he was using paper money, so he was covered in paper cuts head to toe, and they had to stitch him up.
You hate to see that happen.
Well,
you really do.
That was just the mere fantasy while I was lying in the gutter, choking on my own vomit and dreaming about better pastures of things like Destiny 2.
Yes.
You know,
so we're hearing his story had some sleep for dinner and then and then dreamt of Destiny 2. I like it.
Yep.
I actually pre-ordered Destiny 2 like 20 minutes before hopping onto this podcast. How do you like that?
Oh, well,
look at that, people.
Like
this
an
man is
official
biased. He can no longer, you know, be impartial. He's already bought the game. We can't trust his opinion.
Can't take his opinion now.
I'm already a shill now.
What was that pre-order though for? Like, was it a PC or a PlayStation?
It was a PlayStation.
Right. Have you noticed? It's actually $20 cheaper to pre-order the Digital Deluxe on PC.
Is it?
Well, it's 20 euros cheaper over here, so that actually
20
might
euros.
be more dollars.
What?
Yeah, it's 100 euros. 99.99 to pre-order it on PC with all the digital spandangly extra bits, and for me it was 120 euros.
And hey,
on
if you're out there in PC land and you're thinking of either upgrading your graphics card or building a computer altogether from scratch, I think there's a deal going on. I'm not sure when it kicks off or ends, but I think if you buy the new GTX 1080 graphics card, the PC, you can get a free copy of Destiny 2.
Oh.
Anybody heard that?
GTX graphics card.
Is that with a particular graphics card manufacturer, like EVGA or something like that? Or is it just any NVIDIA card?
Whoever makes the GTX 1080, I think it's, what is it?
It's NVIDIA, and I don't know if any of the aftermarket brands, if it's specific to certain aftermarket revisions of it, like EVGA or MSI or anything like that. I just know that they're running that promotion through a few websites, including Newegg, and I'm mad about it. I'm super mad about it.
Because I bought the parts for my PC like 2 weeks before I heard the news that it was like, oh yeah, you know, if you get the new graphics card, then we can get you a free copy of Destiny 2. I was like, shit. Well, that sucks.
Well, bugger me.
I literally get around to building that PC. Guess who's getting a free copy of D2, baby?
Not me. I literally just bought a GTX 1080 Ti like a month ago. And bravo. Well done. You got me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a good card though, man. If you want that to last the duration of D2, it's probably going to do just that, really.
Yeah.
I've started doing my homework on bits and pieces for my D2 PC at the moment, and it's not future-proof is maybe a bit too extravagant a word, but you know what? That's certainly a good one to buy.
It's a good graphics card.
You could buy 2 of them and dangle them as earrings, you know, to like show that you're extremely flamboyant and incredibly wealthy.
That's like a sign of super wealth in certain parts of California, where like startup companies are, you know, roaming free. Like the tech bubble, you just roll in with your GTX 1080 earrings. They're like, this guy fucks this guy right here.
You just dangle your wealth on your ears. Your
kitchen tables
all of the
lopsided again. I'll just grab another 1080 and put it under the leg there.
Platinum.
That'll do. So then, guys, the main topic of conversation this week, we can pick a bunch of things.
Trials. It's obviously trials.
It could be trials. Maybe.
Right. It's not like we had, you know, E3 or some kind of crazy gaming press conference, or even the announcement of, you know, the launch date of a beta for a specific game. I can't think of anything like that would have happened.
And the re-announcement of the launch date of the actual game for a specific game.
When has that ever happened in the world? An actual release date has been put forwards 2 days early.
I still don't believe it. I think we're being punked.
Like it.
Isn't it? I just remember seeing all this hoo-ha, kerfuffle, you know, rage on Twitter saying, oh my God, it's PlayStation exclusive release date. And then everywhere else would get it 2 days later. And there was already an uproar, you know, people putting their keyboards in their mouths and biting down hard. And then I think it was Luke Smith that popped forward and said, no, it's everything. It's global. That's D2, everything. Apart from PC, that's a couple months later. Well, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, is it? Something like that?
Yeah, a little over a month later. So yeah, this is something that was announced during the Sony press conference. We got kind of a surprise in that Destiny 2's official launch date is no longer September 8th. It is now 2 days earlier on September 6th. A Wednesday, which is a really weird day to release a AAA game,
and
but I'll take it.
That's when every single person that I know was like, did you see that release date? Did that say the 6th? Was that the 6th? Like a million people all at once messaging each other. Like, what the hell's happening?
And that was like, there was like a misinformation tornado going on the internet. I was streaming and someone came into my stream and they were like, that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Did you hear that PlayStation gets the release date 2 days earlier than Xbox? And I was like, no, dude, it's all the same day. All the same day.
Oh my God. And I would have been so happy if PlayStation got it 2 days earlier just to bask in the salt mine of Twitter that day. Just, it would have been phenomenal. All right. And I'm an Xbox main. I'm only going to get it on Xbox at first. I still would have just laughed at all the people just losing their minds. Oh my God.
I mean, it was granted, it was a little bit confusing because it was just kind of thrown up on screen with no real fanfare, like right after they had mentioned, you know, Sony exclusive stuff. So it was just like Sony exclusive stuff. You know, you got we were getting a PvP map, we're getting a strike, we're getting an exotic sniper rifle that can change elements, which I thought was really cool. And then suddenly it's, you know, September 6th. So I could see how some people would correlate that with being, 2 days earlier launch on PlayStation.
I legitimately just assumed that they had a typo in their stuff. I was like, they probably just screwed something up.
Messed up.
I have very little faith
in them.
Maybe it was. And then they just said, we don't want to admit. We don't want to admit it. We'll look like idiots now.
Look like a bunch of idiots.
You know what, though? The weekly reset day could move to Wednesday, I suppose, then. Maybe.
Whoa, now you're talking crazy.
I know. Just throwing that out there. Maybe someone at Bungie was like, we want to change. Let's have a change.
Weekly reset.
Let's have it on a Wednesday. Yes,
be the change that you want to see in the
We don't like change here, Story.
No, we don't.
Right? We want it to be exactly the
Where's
same
Teft?
as vanilla.
I don't know
where is he? At E3, that's where he was. Although he didn't get to play Destiny 2.
I'll tell you where he really is. He's with me boycotting Destiny 2 because there's no beers, and that's confirmed. And I'm done. Done.
Pre-order canceled. It's done.
Out. That's it. It's done.
He's gone.
It's gone.
Turn the camera off.
Never did I didn't think that losing my beard in real life would cost me my beard, my theoretical conceptual beard in Destiny 2.
You know, all you people can go fuck yourself. Every last one of you, go jump off a bridge. You know, some people don't even get to have beards, IRL. Okay, you know what I mean? You ever think about that? That your precious little digital beard not being there isn't the end of the world, because you still get to wake up in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, it's so
Isn't
beautiful.
that a Lady Gaga song? Your precious
I'm
little
still gonna get the game. It's actually not that big a deal.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll be all right.
Are you sure? Because like the meltdown that I saw
little
after that
digital
announcement,
beard.
Yeah, I just had to, I had to let it out for a second. Then I remembered I have a beard always, so it doesn't matter. It's fine.
I was literally saying that while you were gone.
Perfect.
He was born with a beard.
Fucking
beard came out first.
You'll be all right, boys. You'll be all right. You still got the facial hair to keep you warm at night. All right. All right.
Look. They can't give us everything we want in D2. Then what will we complain about for D3? All my bearded brethren. All right. We're gonna hold out hope for D3, 3D. It's gonna be great. All right. Beards popping out of the screen.
That's
excited.
the one thing we had to complain about, right?
You know, I'm going to talk to Bones while he's not here.
Do it.
I'm going to fucking do it. He was one of the few people who I talked to who was actually, I don't know if he's changed his mind, if he's like cooled down on it a little bit, but he was actually kind of upset about the release date coming 2 days earlier.
Interesting.
Kind of it. Yes.
Well, I saw some people mad, in Twitch chats that were like, now it's 2 days earlier. Like, I'm not going to have time to play it. I can't get those days off or whatever.
Yeah, it's my time off work. Yeah.
I had to check my middle class privilege because I have all this PTO saved up. For those of you at home who are in school, PTO stands for paid time off, which is when you can take vacation days from work, but still get paid.
Wait, awesome. You mean you're not working and you're getting paid? What is this?
Madness. Communism.
Magic? No. It's PTO.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a bunch saved up, and I was like Wednesday instead of Friday? Fucking awesome. It means 2 days earlier. I don't have to be lying awake in bed at night being like, I just want to play T2.
Waiting. Yeah.
And now he's played earlier. But Bones was like, I don't know if I can get those fucking days off. And he was really hyped that it was on Friday because, it's Friday. You get off work.
Yeah.
You're like, you can take off Friday and then just coast into a 3-day weekend of nothing but Mountain Dew, Doritos, and Destiny 2. And now he can't do it. Now he can't live that dream. I can, but I'm fortunate.
I'm guessing here's my fan conspiracy theory. They moved it to the 6th because they know how bad their servers always are on launch day stuff and nobody can get in. If everyone's at work, that's less load right there and we can get this shit working before Friday.
So it was a trick is what you're saying.
No more tape years for us people. All right, we're getting straight into D2 on that Wednesday crowd. Let's do this.
I mean, I will say it was definitely a weird choice for them to move it over to a Wednesday. It's not something I'm going to complain about because, again, Destiny. I'm getting it 2 days earlier than I was expecting to, and it means I don't have to do the Arms Day video for that week. Better game will be out.
You still have to do it.
No.
Imagine if D2 came out and Ryan hits up Link. He's like, "Hey, where's that Arms Day video?" And Link's got to pop D2 out.
What do you mean? Yo, we joke about that, but the weeks that I don't do it, there's legitimately a group of people that hits me every single time. It's like, where's the Arms Day video? Where's the Arms Day video?
Arms Day.
95% of it is garbage. 95% of those weapons are garbage. But whatever. But yeah, I can understand some people who are worried because they might have planned ahead and taken off Friday before time, and it sucks. I really don't think we've ever had an instance like this where a AAA game has been released earlier than its speculated date in an unplanned way like this. We had no heads up that this was going to happen before the Sony press conference, which is why it temporarily set Twitter on fire. And again, I mean, I'm happy to play Destiny 2 early. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's just odd. It's got to be the first time it's happened in a long time for a AAA
I hope they keep doing it. I hope once every 2 weeks they just without saying anything, no fanfare. They just release a new image or trailer, and it's just 2 days earlier every single time. We end up getting this game a month earlier than we thought. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'd be okay with that.
It's actually coming out in 3 weeks, but no one knows.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the tweet that says.
We keep giving them the wrong day.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the tweet that says from Luke Smith. You know that 6th September release date for D2? Well, that's not happening. We lost it, so it's.
We lost it.
We don't know when it's coming out.
It's like Fallout's deep bot for all those who hang out in Fallout's chat. Man got a new PC, didn't save any of his deep bot commands, so now he's got no commands.
Rip mozzarella.
Which means it's anarchy in his chat right now.
Yeah,
Total
I think here's why they changed it, really, is because we at Husky Raid released our awful Wake Me Up on September 8th parody, and they saw that. I specifically talked with a Bungie employee at the D2 reveal about how he liked our videos, and he was like, that one is so bad. And I was like, I know, right? And I know. That's why they did it. We don't want to be associated with that terrible video anymore. Let's just bump the day.
That's the new fan fiction. That's the new fiction.
Yes. All right, that's really, the headcanon for it.
They did you a solid by changing the release date then.
Yeah.
So Destiny will never actually be associated with that video.
Exactly. It's perfect. If anything, it's just brought some more views onto that video for that guy commenters who want to be like, you're gonna have to change it to the 6th now, bro.
Oh my
yes, thank you for your view.
West campaigning against that guy. That guy's fucking everywhere, man. That guy's on Twitch. He's on Twitter. He's on YouTube.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. He's everywhere. There's too much.
Man. I love him. Right.
So what else did we see from Destiny 2 at E3? We got
PC
to see
launch date. PC launch date. Woo!
We got a PC launch date. It is what is it? October 24th.
Yeah.
So a little bit over a month after the official release, which isn't bad. That's better than I was thinking it was going to be. I was hoping that it was going to be within at least a 2-month period. So with it being 5-6 weeks afterwards, I can live with it.
Yeah. So does that mean that the first raid you think will be out by the time that's already out, or
maybe somebody? Do we have any IRL warlocks in the chat right now? Can you go through the ancient scrolls? Can you do some homework for me right now? Go consult the archives. What date exactly? How many days passed after the launch date? Did Vault of Glass come out after Destiny 1
7
launch?
days.
Was it available within 7 days?
It's either 7 or 14, one of the two.
7 days. No. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk, Story. You're crazy.
Yeah, it was either 7 or 14 days.
I was informed there was no content in Destiny at launch. This seems like nonsense.
That's all I remember.
Be a raid.
All I remember from initial launch. What's the in game?
Yeah. Where's the content?
Well, I see in the chat. I see a 1 week.
They're
think.
saying 1 week.
7 days.
Wow, unbelievable.
Wow.
Crazy, and I like it. It. Doesn't it seem like it was much further away?
Jesus,
I felt like we were playing
it was a month.
It's because
I feel pressure now.
Most of us
that's gonna
played
be the case in D2,
solidly for 7 days,
cry.
and that's why it felt long, because we didn't sleep for a week, and we all had to
I guess it does.
sleep deprivation.
Story, you don't sleep anyway.
No.
Whatever.
I don't even know what that is anymore.
You mind if I share my tale of building a computer for a couple minutes for those people at home?
Let's take a brief D2 break. Everybody, grab a whiskey.
Everybody, grab
some
booze.
You're at work. Grab your secret work whiskey. Sit back. Let's listen.
I'm gonna pioneer the conversation, which I almost never do. Comedy. So I was building a new computer. Not necessarily for Destiny 2. I'm a YouTuber, as you all know, or most of you know probably. And my old computer, shite, as Story would say. Absolute shite. It was on its last legs. It was like a 5 or 6 year old computer. And it just wouldn't even turn on anymore. I think the motherboard was on its way out. And I was thinking, well, I can either pay some green to get the computer repaired, or I could just probably pay maybe a little bit more and just get a fresh, new, sexy computer for D2. And
always
for all
the better option.
Always the better option. The YouTube work that I have to do. I haven't made a YouTube video in a week, and I'm freaking out about it. But yeah, so it was hard. If you're out there and you're considering buying and building a computer, you can do it. Rest assured, you can do it. Don't listen to these fucking people who are like, oh, it's just like Legos. No, it isn't. All right? It's not like Legos. It's fucking hard. You have to do a lot of research and a lot of homework. And I recommend very strongly using the website PC Picker. PC Part Picker, is that a thing?
Part Picker. Yep.
PCPartPicker.com. That link is amazing, and I'm going to tell you why it's amazing. All right. So let's say you're building like a Lego castle set or something out of toy blocks. Let's say a castle out of toy blocks, and buying a computer whole would be like buying a Lego kit of a prepackaged castle. And even though you don't really like the way it looks, you're like, I still want a castle. But you could build a better one if you want. You have to go out and research and buy all the pieces yourself. Now, what you could end up doing is buying all the pieces that you thought looked really good online, and then when you bring them all fucking home, you realize some of them are Lego, some of them are Mega Blocks. And guess what? That shit doesn't blend with each other, all right? You have to get stuff that is compatible. PCPartPicker.com. I feel like I'm reading a fucking ad here. PCPartPicker.com has a compatibility filter, which is like you start picking pieces. You click the compatibility filter, and then it's only going to show you pieces that are compatible with your build, because that's where so many people building their first PC fuck up. Link knows exactly what I'm talking about right now. This guy knows what I'm talking about right over fucking here. You want pieces that are compatible with each other, otherwise your computer won't work. Use that website, build your computer on paper, do the homework, talk to your friends, research what graphics card. I mean, I don't think they've released the specs for Destiny 2 yet, the PC specs, haven't they?
No, but I think we know what kind of build it was running on at the launch event.
I saw somebody tweet who's working on saying that they were working on gathering that information, for everybody.
Good.
So
if you're really patient,
it will be out there.
If you're patient, it'll pay off, because eventually they're going to be like, hey, here's the ideal specs to run D2 on PC. And then you can build your computer around that. That's what you want to do. Otherwise, you can just build kind of a really sexy computer that's so goddamn sexy, that no matter what, it's probably going to be able to run D2 just fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's here, and it's gigantic. It's the size of a suitcase. And it took me all day the other day to put together. And it was a huge bitch, and I almost punched a hole in the wall. But we got past that part. All right? It gets better.
How many spare parts did you have after doing it?
At the end of it, how many spare screws?
How many random screws? I'm like, oh God, what do I do with these?
What did I miss?
Random circuit boards.
You just throw them in the disc tray and close it, right? That's how
That's how disc trays work.
But no, it's great, and it's just fucking amazing. Not only do I have the strongest machine I've ever built in my life, this thing runs circles around my old computer, fucking circles. I was doing shit online today. I was bringing over fucking massive amounts of old files from my external. And my old computer, you transfer big ass files, and it gives you the fucking loading bar. Like, yeah, we're working on it. Like, I bring over the files. It's just
done.
It's is that it? I have
Mary Poppins. That's what you call your new computer. Mary Poppins.
Yeah. And now I know so much more about computers than I used to. I'm not like a Lupo. You know what I mean? Lupo is still way ahead of me and most people. But
no, nobody was even remotely thinking you were like.
Okay,
Lupo.
good. Sure. But when you put the computer together, all the parts from the ground level, you fucking understand what everything does very intimately. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's being that dad who teaches you how to build your own car. You have to learn how to fix it yourself, so you really understand what goes wrong with it.
Or do you want to buy? Or if you learn how to build the engine back together yourself, I mean, maybe not an engine, but you get a spare part. You know what I mean? You can either take it to the shop and get digged over for 3 to 4 figures, or you can buy a spare part online and you can learn where it goes, and you can put it in yourself in your own garage for $20. So that's kind of how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really fucking glad that it's done now. It was a massive headache. There were parts where I was really excited about. When you're putting the build together on PCPartPicker.com, you're fucking like a kid on Christmas. You're rubbing your hands. You're just oh, that's awesome. I'm sending sample builds to Link. I'm like, does this look good? What about this? What about this? He's like, yeah, I like that. But don't do that. Do something else. Do something. But yeah, it's fucking fun. I recommend it if you're looking to build a computer for D2. Start with that website. Talk to as many people as you can. And if Rube like me can do it, then you can do it too.
There we go. In a few months, I'm going to try doing the same thing. Probably I'll mention it a week before I try to do it. And then I'll just come back on the podcast next week. And my story will just be We didn't get it. It didn't
work. Apparently, I used too much marmalade, and something broke, and yeah. The pygmies were all over the place, and basically there was the elephant was a bad idea, and
interesting choices.
Now that we've taken our PC intermission,
yes.
can we get back to talking about how there's no Exo Stranger in Destiny 2? What the hell? What the hell?
No Exo Stranger, no darkness, no grimoire. That's 3 things too many, man. Yeah. I'm out.
Mm-hmm. No ranked.
Ripping. Okay, well,
that's ranked on launch.
That's an actual thing to me.
Light stuff first. Picture the serious shit. But people were like flipping out. First of all, I read the interview with who is it, Luke Smith, where he was like,
Luke Smith, yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I think we wrapped up the Exo Stranger."
Hilarious, hilarious opinion to have right there. What?
Interesting thoughts.
Here's a piece of advice, Luke. If every single other person who's ever actually just played the game doesn't think you wrapped it up, you didn't wrap it up sufficiently. That's just what it is.
I understand that, like, when you're in the public and you're doing an interview with whoever, like a magazine, or you're just doing an interview to promote the new game, you're in public relations mode. I understand that. I understand that because he can't be like,
we really fucked that one.
The cameras are like, yeah, that's fucking stupid. I don't know what we were doing there. Like, we thought maybe we could figure out how to make that a more interesting plotline in D2. And then we're like, nah.
Decided, let's just. I'm all for it personally.
I'm all for it too. Yeah. It's hilarious and but like just real talk. They probably, we know all the stories about how they had the original story for D1, and then between them and the parent company, things got reduced, things got taken away and changed. The game got changed a whole bunch of times before it finally got released. I'm sure it complicates things. You know what I mean?
Just to throw some weird hat into the ring here, does no one think that that's like a red herring at all?
I'm with you on that too. That it could full well be. Whenever somebody tells me point blank that something won't be there, I immediately am skeptical about it.
When it
that
comes
it's probably
to story,
in there then.
Actual, the narrative. Then when Luke Smith says there ain't gonna be no ranked, there ain't gonna be no ranked, right? But when he says there ain't gonna be no stranger, then you're like, oh, okay.
So here's where I'm at.
I believe you 100%.
I'm all for it if it's in there and it's good, but I'm not upset about the stranger not being in there either, because overall the story that they are building for Destiny 2 is immediately more interesting than most of the stuff from the vanilla Destiny 1 anyway to me. So
much.
Yeah.
I just want a good story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want a good campaign. I want good enemies, which we have. The trailer with Gary, Gaul, whatever, kicking the Titan off the tower. It's like, it's awesome. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's a really compelling story. Everyone's interested in it already. Yes. And is it funny and kind of ridiculous that they're like, that they had something that they thought could maybe turn into like a major plot point, and like it was so vague that they just didn't know how they didn't know how to move forward with it. But like, should we try to like write it into this story? It's like, they're like, fuck it, just think about it. Just think you wrapped it up. They gave you a cool rifle. That was all she was supposed to do.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a Husky Raid story time for a second here, because as some people may know, YouTuber do a little Destiny machine called Destiny Cops. Season 1, first episode airs, and it like sets up like this hinting big overarching plot and stuff, and like all this stuff. Literally nothing written for episode 2, no plot plan at all, just things written intentionally cryptically for no reason. And let me tell you, it's a clusterfuck to try to write something after that point. So I can understand why you would just be like, let's just drop this shit and do something that we actually have a plan for.
Do something that we care about.
If they do have a secret way that the stranger's coming in, then I have way more confidence in them right now than I did before, because Gaul is an interesting villain, which is something we haven't really had in Destiny. Because the most appealing villains have a strong unity of opposites with the hero. He wants what we want, only he's an asshole and he's trying to take it from us. He wants what I, as the player, want. I want the fucking light, and he's trying to take it. I don't want my own evil fucking god dimension. I don't care about Crota. All right, Crota, do whatever the fuck you want. Okay, this guy is legit just trying to take my power, and he made it personal. He took my power and my tower, and now it's my hour, motherfuckers. There it is. Daddy Fat Snaps. Start writing.
Season 3. But yeah, and that's something that Luke Smith even brings up in the interview. We all know what happened to the original Destiny story. It was scooped up a few months before launch, chopped into pieces, and put back together the best way they could. And Smith states that for Destiny 2, they wanted someone for us to focus on. They wanted a more relatable villain, which is why they came up with the idea of Gaul and are basically getting rid of the concept, or at least for now, the concept of the darkness. He went on to state that the darkness, what is it? We don't know. As players, we don't know. It's a thing. They don't know, which I thought was a hilarious part of the interview when they were trying to finish up the story.
How do we know? Because it's called the darkness.
It's called the darkness.
It's bad. It's evil.
The darknesses. And so I can understand them moving to a more relatable villain, a more compact story, a better told story, to be perfectly frank. And while I'm bummed that some of those story chains aren't going to get tugged on, like who was the stranger, who was she talking to on the radar, who was getting attacked that she needed to get back to and help, we may never know. Hopefully we will at some point in time. But with the story in Destiny 2 focusing on Gaul, I'm not mad about that. Not mad about it at all. I like the guy. He's a cool villain, and he took my stuff, so I'm gonna go kick his butt.
Exactly.
Koopa-headed turtle butt. Yep.
I just thought it was funny because I read that quote, and literally on this podcast, I can't remember if it was 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, we were just talking about the D2 story and all our speculation, and I was like, I think I said exactly, I was like, wouldn't it be funny if they just never brought up the stranger again? Like, wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if
it's your fault.
Never, and then I read, it's like, yeah, we finished up that story arc pretty nicely. I was like, oh, okay. All right.
We put the button on that.
But the kind of guy Smith is, I wonder if that was just some of his dry humor, because
could have been.
That's a lot. Yeah, I think we tidied up the stranger story pretty nicely. Right, big thing, right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
man.
Oh, good times.
Destiny 2 story.
All right.
Should be.
Cover
All right.
that.
Now are we ready to talk about no ranks? Who's ready? Raise your hand if you're ready.
Before we do, did anyone watch?
The story's not ready.
Did anyone watch Dato's video on?
I did. I thought are you?
Yeah, it was.
I liked it. Did you like it?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah,
very much.
let's
I agreed with all of it.
Oh, it's great. And then the story's shaking his head.
No. I agreed with all of it.
Did anyone here watch Dato's video? I didn't.
I did not watch it either. So how about we get a summary here?
Yeah.
As guys
Sure.
Well,
you can take it.
No. I think
No.
I insist.
I don't want to hear Fallout's fucking voice anymore. Story,
Man,
all right?
too much, bro. I've had too much time. Story, take it.
Yeah, but I can't English. No, a basic synopsis would be that, or the bit that resonated the most with me is that it's time for Bungie to allow people to be good at the game without trying to either slow them down or make things lacking, missing, more frustrating. And a ranked playlist would, in the same, because they've basically what they've done is set it up. They've got quick play and competitive. How they weren't going to follow through with that is that's causing some, severe animosity. And basically, Dato hit every single nail on the head as to why this wasn't.
I already love what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea, because. A good friend of mine who I have open dialogues with all about, the inner workings of all this kind of stuff. And we have a good speculate. And this is all behind closed doors because a lot of it would probably rustle so many jimmies. But he was like, I think Bungie have been incredibly clear that Destiny 2 is not going anywhere near a competitive route at all. It's a social looter shooter, and anything PvP wise that kind of goes out of the casual regions is definitely not on the cards, and it's definitely not going to happen. And I'm like the opposite. I'm like, well, they're clearly trying to introduce a new environment for PvP. The fact that we're having these very objective game modes, everything is now 4v4, and then quick play and competitive. I mean, surely quick play and competitive means no need for matchmaking manipulation, no need for handicapping teams, no need for incredibly restrictive skill-based matchmaking in one of those playlists. You know, like it just paves the way for a more solid and like much more evolved and layered multiplayer experience. But now all the stuff that's being said in interviews completely contradicts that. It's like it muddies the water, you know. So Datto basically itemized a whole bunch of stuff, too much for me to remember all right now, and hit every point on the head. And I really hope that that's taken seriously by those.
And he definitely did mention multiple times that like he's only basing his little quote unquote rant about, he's basing it on what we know right now in the community. You know what I mean? He also mentions, I know a lot of this is like speculation. We don't have the final game yet. Luke did say that they're working on something kind of like ranked, which is like, okay,
talking
great.
around it,
whatever that is. So there's much left to be desired. You know, we can't fully crucify the negative points of the game yet because we don't have our hands on the game. But that being said, from what we know and what we're seeing and what we're hearing, it's like they're kind of saying one thing, possibly doing another. They're not pulling the trigger where the trigger needs to be pulled, and like rank is a really important thing that Datto, and I agree with him, I think would really help out in the PvP scene, because he's like, there's no goal, there's no point. Like
no
there's
meaning.
PvP right now. There's no meaning to play towards. You know what I mean? Like you have trials, that's currently I think the only real area in PvP where there's currently meaning. And people in the community show Bungie that they care about it to some degree anyway. Because like if you look at the Twitch directory every weekend, what are you looking at?
Trials.
It's trial streams because people want to go flawless. It's a difficult challenge for the average Destiny player, and people want to do it. They want to have that notch in their belt, on their bedpost, whatever you want to say. And that's where people are grinding. Yeah, because what are you going to do? Just hop into, I mean, you can hop into Clash and you can play with your friends and have a good time and you can enjoy, but there's no deeper meaning behind it. You're not striving towards some kind of goal. And like having a ranked playlist like very clearly identifies that goal, and it would keep PvP so much stronger and fresher for longer. Because like just think of the old Halo days. Like you're trying to get that the next level, you're trying to get your 30 or your 40 and like in Team Slayer or whatever, and you're grinding out. And he also touched on a couple other things, including like the removal of Rumble, which I'm kind of ticked off about, and the removal of private matches, which I'm really ticked off about.
How long is it going to
I
take?
still don't understand that.
Those come back.
I don't understand.
But the one thing that resonated with me was like, a ranked playlist is basically means for people to show off their prowess. I think that statement there itemizes a lot of what's wrong about the kind of PvP policy, because it's not prowess that people want to show off. It's a goal that's worked towards. It's like, I want to put my time, I want to invest my time into getting better at this and not be rewarded for it, but at least be recognized for the time that I put in to get better at this. Right now, putting time in to try and get better at Destiny PvP, it's not just not rewarded anyway or like completely unacknowledged. It's punished on a variety of levels, and that Datto really did. I'm surprised that he did it, to be honest, because like he's got a big, you know, he's got his reputation on the line, he's got his profile, and I think it was a very brave and bold and very admirable thing to do, is put that all on the line to say that, you know, Bungie aren't thinking about these people. They never really have considered these people. They've been very good players. You know, the whole system is like anti this. It's like the better that you get at our game, the better you get at our game, the worse your experience is going to get. And, you know, I don't think there's any player above average that would argue against that. You know, so like the fact that he addressed that, I was like, wow, that's, you know, bravo.
Something else he touched on regarding the removal of private matches and custom games. He made a good point, but I mean, he says, if you look at it now, probably how often are the private match features being utilized in Destiny 1? Probably like 1%, if not lower. You know what I mean? going into a private match now, like at the, I mean, Megan, but I mean, like at the end of year 3, when we have a sequel on the horizon, it's probably being used very, very little, like objectively. So from like a mathematic standpoint, it's like, well, yeah, people aren't using it. Maybe we should scrap it. But it's so important to like the strength of the community, because there's just certain things that can't be done or are extremely difficult to do without that in your game. And we're welcoming in a new community to D2. We're welcoming in the PC community, and it's like it's kind of like first impressions are everything. You know what I mean? Like, so you're bringing in a brand new community, and some of them are probably going to be like, "Wait a minute, there's no custom games? Are you shitting me right now? Like, this is the game we're supposed to be getting behind and supporting." So it's not all just about pleasing our neighbors who are coming over. You know, we want to make sure we bake a nice cake for them, but there's also certain things of the community that it's like, it's really important. You know what I mean? You have the tournament scene, and even though the private matches wouldn't be used a shit ton by the massive overview of the community, when you have tournaments for Destiny, Twitch like explodes. You know what I mean? You had some of those really big Farcog tourneys. There were like 5-digit people on Twitch watching these tournaments happen that were like building from the ground up, and it helps grow the community. So even though you only have a small number of players participating in these tournaments, you're growing the community by a tremendous level. And then you have people like Mega and the rest of his friends over at Husky Raid, who are really talented at making machinima and stuff like that. Again, they're just like a 10-man team in terms of like the dance videos and the audio and all that stuff. But you make these incredible productions, and they fucking blow up YouTube. They're on the front page of Destiny the game. You're bringing
every single time.
We're like, this is fucking hilarious. Like, it's a way to expand the community. So there might not be a lot of people. Yeah.
And
so
the thing that like the thing that really kind of resonates with me is the fact that, number one, Destiny PvP could easily be top of the charts for competitive PvP from all the games out there at the moment. Overwatch is a fantastic game, and it's basically, you know, dominating the Twitch directory with the competitive FPS, if you really want to call it an FPS or whatever. But Destiny could be right up there. And I think there's an inner conflict at Bungie, because if I was a dev that had made a game, an area of a game like that, the multiplayer part, I would be so proud. And I'd want it to be up there and being fought the way that it should be fought in a competitive environment, because it's hands down some of the most intense, rewarding, layered, you know, it's a great PvP to progress at. You know, so it's like just seems like a bit of a waste, really. And the fact that the social looter shooter side of it, and it needs to be, you know, like much more casually based and all this kind of thing. It can still cater for that audience. Like, that's the mass demographic. Like, it can cater for that hands down. But the fact that it could be like top tier stuff, but there's this inner conflict that seems to be holding it back. You know. So
I really don't believe the two have to be or strictly mutually exclusive. It doesn't have to be a game that's focused on a casual kind of party play with your friends, looter shooter experience, and then not be able to have that kind of high level gameplay. Destiny, I've said multiple times, the gunplay in Destiny is the most solid gunplay I think I've had in any first person shooter ever.
Hands down.
And it's absolutely capable of fostering a competitive environment. And I would have to agree with, you know, what you guys are saying, and especially what Data was saying. Bungie has been kind of diametrically opposed to sort of promoting some kind of a competitive environment for Destiny with PvP in mind, basically since the game came out. And I don't know why. Like I said, I don't see the two as being mutually exclusive. It can be both a casual, friendly game and have a really high skill ceiling for competitive play.
I think a great example of something like that would be a game that Fallout always talks his butt about, which is Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is a fucking party game. Super Smash Bros. is the
Hungrybox took it home.
Fucking party game.
I had to give it to you.
Everybody loves Super Smash Bros. Everybody. It's fucking party. There's nobody who plays it and doesn't have at least a little bit of fun, but it's also competitive as fuck. Like when you get into the upper echelon of people, and I don't see why Destiny couldn't be the same way.
Encourage it,
Melee,
man, you know.
Smash Bros. Melee was such a mechanically complex game with a massively high skill ceiling. Huge. And it had a tremendous tournament scene, and the people at Nintendo, this is true, this is not me ranting with a tinfoil hat on. They came out and they were like, this is not what we had envisioned the game to be.
What we intended.
We want it to be like a fun party game. And then they came out with the sequel, which was Smash Bros. Brawl, and they removed a lot of the techniques that were originally implemented in Melee, which led to high tournament level play. But it's not one or the other. Because in Smash Bros. Melee, every time I sat down to pick up a controller, it wasn't like MLG Grand Finals. It depends on who you're playing with. I could play with people who were fantastically, amazingly talented at tournament level gameplay, and they went crazy. And then you play with other people, and it's just the fun party game that you know and love. It doesn't have to be black or white. You know what I mean? You can have a game with a very high ceiling for competitive play, all that other stuff, and it can still be the fun social looter shooter that you want it to be.
Yep. And there's a bunch of stuff as well, like going back to that point of Bungie doing everything that they can to promote a social and casual experience rather than get into a competitive, promoting a competitive arena for PvP. There's a whole bunch of stuff that makes you think that they're not doing everything that they could possibly do to try and promote this social or casual kind of arena. Like, number one, if it's supposed to be like a less serious or don't take PvP seriously, why is there such aggressive and restrictive skill-based matchmaking that makes the population seem smaller than it actually is? Why are there public stats which third-party apps and websites can generate things like ELO from, and that will naturally just create a competitive arena anyway? I mean, Titanfall had no public stats, and like the community didn't outcry on that one.
Good point.
So, then you've got. Well, I suppose those two things are probably the main things that I'd really list there. Really, So, like, it's going to be, it's going to be competitive. Datto got it right. Regardless of which way it's taken or it's construed or considered, it is going to be competitive regardless. So,
yeah, if you've got a functional game that's multiplayer, people are going to compete in it. That's just what happens. A community is going to build up regardless of what Bungie does, and I just don't see why they would try to hinder.
Can't hold us down, Bungie.
Can't hold us.
Build us up. Don't.
The man can't hold us down.
We should give them a little benefit of the doubt. I mean, they said it won't be available at launch, and we know that lately, in the past, what are you going to say?
I was going to say that actually gives me some hope, because I think one of the reasons why private matches aren't used that much is because they did too little with them. You don't have a lot of options with private matches.
Too late.
Yes.
They dropped them.
You can't do. There's nothing that's different with private matches other than you can turn off special and heavy now.
Yes.
That I can't just play a normal fucking match with my friends with and just load in.
They'll come though, won't they? Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hoping they'll come. And the reason why they're delayed, I'm hoping, is that they'll be giving more options. Like even Halo 2 had you could set it only these guns, only this. I'm hoping they'll get like physics changes, shit like that added in.
Exactly. Dude, the ball is in their court. As long as we are a respectfully, but repeat that word, respectfully vocal community. Look up that word in the dictionary. Respectfully. If you frequent the Bungie forums, might not know what it means.
That is a very vocal community. Zero amount of respectfulness.
Throwing a little shade. But yeah, if we're a respectfully vocal community, then they will listen, because they've listened to us before. They have given us custom themes, albeit possibly too late. But if we are open and clear and not dickish about our wishes as a community, then they can absolutely pull together. And they could be Luke Smith could be Willy Wonka. You know what I mean? He could fucking walk out and be like, oh, so we heard you wanted some of this? Boom, the schnozberries. They taste like schnozberries. Check out fucking private matches now. You can change the gravity, the respawn time, the bullet physics, the health, the shield regeneration time. You can move shit around. We have a forge mode, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm getting into deep fantasy realm.
That would happen. You can only get so erect Fallout, all right?
Vote Pedro.
Right now. Limit here, Bungie. I mean, again, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not available at launch. I'm sure they have a lot on their plate right now.
Yeah.
Understandable. But as long as we keep reminding them, to a degree, of what it is that we're looking for in the game collectively, then hopefully they will listen and they will respond accordingly.
1 month after launch, though, we will burn that building to the fucking ground. Am I right, people?
Okay, so that's the podcast 123 wrapped up right here and now. See you later, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourself a nice weekend.
Yeah.
And and to be fair to say, Destiny 2 is a game that they've built from the ground up to be a bit different than Destiny 1. Yeah. Something else that came out in a few of the interviews that I think even Luke Smith was a part of this interview too was changes to balance, and weapon tuning is going to be a bit different in Destiny 2 to how it was in Destiny 1. Whereas in Destiny 1, very often most of the weapon balances that we got affected entire archetypes of weapons. Like you might think of the fast rate of fire auto rifles getting hit because of Doctrine of Passing, or all legendary hand cannons getting slapped down in House of Wolves because of Thorn in the Last Word. Yeah. And yeah, not a fan of that. Mad about it. Still felt the repercussions to this day. But one thing that they mentioned was that with the new engine, with their new system, they can actually tune specific weapons rather than hitting entire archetypes. I don't know what ones and zeros they needed to carry over for that, but that's something I am so thankful for. Yeah. So if they have a specific gun that's overperforming in the Crucible, they can go into the PvP stats for that gun, specifically change it, and not hit everything else.
I think it's so wild that wasn't an option in Destiny 1. Like, I don't even know how they made the game.
It was everything was too intertwined.
Yeah, apparently the tools for deving Destiny 1 were just too crazy.
Who was building it and was like, they'll probably be fine if we just
remember,
make it.
Remember when they tried to, again, it's just goofy. I'm not trying to shit on Bungie. They tried to, nerf something related to, health regeneration, something on the perk, and they accidentally, nerfed 10
Hungering Blade. They tried to just change Hungering Blade so you gained a little bit of health instead of it triggering health regen, and then everything
got affected. And,
fucking bubble did. When you popped your bubble, it didn't start regen. It just gave you a little bit of health.
Everything was too It was like the interwoven crust of an apple pie at the top of the fucking pie. You can't just take one thing off. You take the whole crust off.
It's like their dev house, their dev tools for Destiny is like a Jenga tower. They pull one thing out and 6 other things fall off. And we've certainly seen a lot of examples of that over the years. I'm still convinced that's why sniper rifles like the Event Horizon can't use the Perfectionist perk unless they've got Casket Mag, because they've got 3 in the magazine, and I am convinced that the Perfectionist perk is somehow tied into the Black Spindle or the Black Hammer perk. And when they changed the way those work, it broke 3-round snipers with the Perfectionist perk. I'm convinced that is the case with seeing how other things have happened in Destiny. But so I'm thankful they've got better tools this time around. They can identify underperforming or overperforming weapons and tune them separately. That I think is going to be something huge, because we've had entire what do they call it? Weapon seasons in Destiny determined by them over buffing or over nerfing, usually over nerfing an entire archetype that probably didn't need it.
Yes.
Probably didn't need it. It's like Destiny 1 in a nutshell. Over nerfing things that probably didn't need it. But whatever, it happens. Who cares?
So we got a beta date.
We did?
Oh, yeah.
We
did?
How did we not bring up the beta date? Shit.
Unbelievable.
Saving the best thing for last, because it is literally 1 month from the recording that's happening right now. Well, except for Story, because he's in the future. Yeah, but it's 1 month away. July 18th is when the Destiny 2 beta is officially going to be starting. It's going to be a closed beta. The 18th is when PS4 players will be able to get it. If you've pre-ordered, you'll have access to that. Xbox One players will be getting access to it on the 19th. And can I just say, we knew there was going to be some sort of early access for PlayStation. Yep. I'm glad it was only 1 day.
Yeah, one day.
I'm just thankful it was. I thought it was going to be like, Activision. The PlayStation beta is July and Xbox doesn't get it till like August. So I'm glad it's just
Xbox
a 1 day.
gets their beta September 5th. That's their beta.
A day before. So,
I just love that how every company in the world is like, why is everybody taking these days off? We've got no staff on this day. What the hell? The entire Destiny community across the
beta
globe.
Boys.
I'm taking literally every day that week off for the beta.
Oh yeah.
Every day.
I'm taking literally all my clothes off that week for the beta. Just gonna be sprawled out. I have no AC. I'm gonna be sprawled out naked in this living room, just playing Destiny the whole time.
I'll join you. I got you, man.
Beautiful. Good.
Nice.
Double Destiny stream. So yeah, it'll be opening up for Xbox One pre-orderers on the 19th, and then on the 21st. No date for that. Rip.
No date yet.
No date. I said that we wouldn't get one. Like I bet no PC beta, but apparently, when is it
Sometime
now?
in
August. August. There's
Sometime
going to
in
be one. I mean, it would make a lot of sense to at least stress test the environments and whatever.
Yeah.
With the folks and stuff. But yeah, like at least there is one coming. That's a big plus, you know.
And the open beta for everybody else who didn't pre-order, it'll be starting on the 21st, I want to say. And then the beta will be going on until the 23rd. So a shorter beta this time than what we got in Destiny 1, which was like 2 weeks, I think, after they extended. But yeah, we got a beta date. It's a month away, and I can't wait. It's next 4 weeks.
Just can't wait for the beta.
For the beta.
Too bad there's no Titan skater.
Ooh.
Don't be a hater. I'll see you later.
Cause I gotta make my potato.
I hate myself.
That's all right, because we love it.
That's perfect. So we're just all gonna be playing that beta together, right? I know I'm gonna be playing with Fallout all that time, all the TBL. And slide you right into me, baby.
Slide right into your DMs.
Story. You live in Futureland. I don't even know. Are we even allowed to play together? Is it even possible? I don't even know.
You have to get a license for that kind of thing.
Okay. All right, good. I'll get a special license so that you and me can play together, because I want to be all up on that beta action.
Yeah.
Beta action with you.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm pretty excited, to say the least. I think I might not sleep the entire beta. I think I might just play it. Yeah.
I mean,
get myself burnt out on D2 early. All right.
Yeah.
Really get myself hating it right out the gate.
We're gonna have to, because we all need the footage. It's gonna be nonstop recording from the start of the 18th.
Yes. Gentlemen, start your captures. It's gonna be.
Now, we haven't really gotten any confirmation of what exactly is going to be in the beta. I'm imagining it's pretty much going to be like the Destiny 1 beta, so maybe a couple of story missions and PvP, like 2 maps of PvP. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't know exactly how much I want to be in this beta. Like, because
not too much.
I kind of want to go into most of Destiny 2 fresh. So like I don't know if that. Because in the Destiny 1 beta, we had basically all of the Cosmodrome open. We had all of the Earth missions, the vanilla Earth missions, and then like 1 moon mission. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I want like the European Dead Zone completely open. I mean, I do, but I also kind of want to save that experience for when the full game comes out. I don't know. Yeah. It's weird. It's going to be kind of hard
from a development perspective, I think they would need to test this environment, because what they're saying is that the environment now is much more layered. There's a lot more instances that are occurring simultaneously. So as much as we just want to get our hands on the actual pew-pews and go and have an explore around and stuff, that environment is going to be stress tested with players. So like minimizing what's available to us at the beta probably isn't going to help that stress test much. So I can imagine that we're going to have access to a fair amount of these instances, at least simultaneous instances, just to make it worthwhile for the actual testing. Mm. I loved Giga wants to put out a tweet saying it would be really good to have some end game materials at our disposal so that we can actually test those. You know, not just because of a sheer curiosity, but because of like, this is end game stuff. Surely you want to test that before we get to it. So if there's any stuff that needs changing or adapting or, moving around, then they'd have an idea in advance.
You are optimistic.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen.
No, but that's quite clever though. That is like, everyone's running around with the D2 equivalent of Lunas and, Matadors and stuff like that just for a little while.
We get to play every subclass in the beta though, right?
I mean, that's good enough.
That every subclass would be confirmed.
Yeah,
I think they did confirm that, which is pretty sexy.
How much will be like unlocked on them though, or available to us on?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If you have
But
to
then everything
unlock
would be
it,
playable.
that would be.
I hope you have to unlock it. That's just more. That's just more grinding I get to do, baby. That's something to
But
chase.
I would like to think that that's not possible in the
I'm
time that the
assuming it
beta
won't
was
be.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it'd take a bit longer.
I'm sure it'll probably be like you can only choose one of the node things, like at the reveal and like at E3 or whatever. Yeah, probably just.
Kiss my node.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. So, is there
All
anything else that we want to chew on, or should we open up to the lovely chat for some cues?
I think it is Q time. QT.
Q-tip. Okay.
We
So
got
go ham, chat. What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
ask us some questions, please.
Yeah.
Do it.
I
You
need
won't.
questions.
I do know, Mama, let me whisper in your ear.
Like, what does Mega smell like right now?
I smell terrible. I smell awful. I was not
Off-topic
joking
question
when
that's
I said
been.
I didn't have
Sorry, I
AC.
didn't mean to cut you off. Buddy.
No, you're fine. This is
Off
more
topic
important.
question that's been burning in my mind. This is from Gamer Pharaoh in the chat. The Guardians have a strong presence in Fellwinter Peak and the Reef. Why regroup at the European dead zone?
I'm sure there'll be some
That's a good
line
question.
It's
about
got
how we
trees to
lost
hide
those
in.
spots too.
Yeah.
It's got
I'm sure
bushes.
there'll just be some.
Let's go to the temple. Oh no, Gary's fucking.
Send
blew it
message to the reef that we need help. There's nothing there. It's gone
They're gone
too.
too.
Oh, that's it. Done. Wrote it out.
Go to Europe.
Finished.
I've always
What
wanted
about
to go
the
to
Aphrodite's hidden colony? Don't worry about it. They said
Don't worry
no.
about it. No.
We didn't have time to
They said
explain.
no.
We don't have enough gas to get there. We're gonna park right here first, and then we'll reach out.
That's it.
Tomahawk, what gun will you miss? The gun that I never got and never will have, probably.
Luna.
Oh.
The Luna, not just any Luna.
Just any Luna, a good Luna.
The white whale
The-
story.
The white
rangefinder
whale.
Here.
What new gun type are you most excited for? Whatever gun replaces that
The
Luna.
Luna.
Yeah, sorry, I'm starting to rub off on you.
I'm
Whatever gun is best.
I'm
Yes.
excited for the prospect of a good SMG. I didn't like
Yeah.
any of the ones at the D2 reveal, but if there's a good one, I love bullet hose guns if they're usable. So I can get into it.
How did SMGs play? Were they just like basically a substitute for fast rate of fire autos, or what?
It kind of felt like a sidearm, but like
Really?
super unst. I don't know. They felt shorter than like I guess because I'm used to the low rate of fire autos being the only ones I really use at all in Destiny right now. So like a submachine gun was not that ranged, and it was just kind of like the 2 times I tried to use one. And granted, this is what, like months ago, and I was super tired and I have no footage and no real fucking memory of it. I just remember thinking it was unstable as hell and I could not kill anything with it. But that's just one man's opinion.
Just one.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question from Drift. Do we have any confirmation, by the way, that Void Walker has been turned into a roaming super? Any confirmation on that?
No.
Okay, so his question is, how do you think they made the Void Walker a roaming super if they did?
3 shots.
It seems reasonable.
That's my answer. 3 shots.
Three shots?
Three
Three
shots.
shots is a
bombs?
lot.
Three Nova
That's a
bombs.
lot of
Dude,
Nova bombs.
if that was the case, I would main Void Walker permanent.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't? If you could just have 3 giant shutdowns. I mean,
Well, I'd
it'd
imagine they would lower the AOE.
yeah, it'd
on
be
it.
like Fist, where the area of effect is way lower on it now, I guess. But
Listen, let me tell you a little something about the Warlock, all right? I've been riding the Dawnblade dick really hard ever since the
he's
D2
on that
reveal.
dong blade.
I'm on that Dawnblade, baby, all right? Because look, I'm not gonna lie, they're strong on paper, all right? Everyone's talking about that, the empowering rift that they have.
That's cool.
Okay, so that fucking, we know that the 2 hunters both have the fucking dodgy ability, right?
Yeah,
So
those are.
we to assume that the 2 warlocks have the rift ability?
Yeah, if you look at all of the abilities, they're all kinetic, so they don't seem to be linked at all. I'm pretty sure they confirmed that maybe that they're the same across.
They did,
class.
and
yeah.
it was in an interview where they spoke about hunters. Yeah.
Okay, so you have the Void Walker. Grenades have been tuned down. There's no reason to use fusion grenades anymore because they don't one-hit kill anymore.
Ugh.
So if they still have the tracking power of the Axion Bolt on the Void Walker and the health steal from the Void Walker melee, and you turn Nova Bomb into a roaming super, similar. Again, this is all speculation. Similar to what we have for the Titan Fist of Havoc. You got to be shitting me. I'm going to main Voidwalker.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you right now. It's going to be
yes.
Keep an eye on it.
Famous words until we actually get it, and it's so fucking nerfed and terrible. Like they've done so much to nerf all the abilities.
Wouldn't if you've got roaming Voidwalker, wouldn't that be roughly the same as a Dong Blade anyway? A throwable projectile thing that kills people in one
a gunslinger, bang. Yeah.
It would be, but the blast radius would be significant. I'm guessing would be.
No, it might not be. It might be smaller.
It would have to
just
be
like Fist of Panic.
I would imagine they would balance.
Even smaller than current Nova is still much bigger than Dong Blade.
And so you have the ability to panic activate, because if you're the Dong Blade and then all of a sudden you're surrounded by 3 guys, you have to be like, oh, I have the power, and then you start throwing the blades at them.
If you have the power of grace going.
Yeah, but if you have the Nova Bomb, you're surrounded, you're like, panic bomb, boom, then they're dead. And then you start roaming, looking around for trouble.
I got 2 more shots.
And then you fucking are just Frieza blowing up the planet.
That's
more like
right.
Cooler. It's like Cooler because he charges faster than Frieza. Yeah. Everyone knows that.
Does.
Yeah.
For me, it's the same. It's like I've got my super, I want it, I pop it, and then I throw it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the only thing is the Nova comes. All this Fallout's saying is the Nova comes out instantly, whereas the Dong Blade is and then you can throw it. So it's a slight difference, but. And maybe travel time is different. I don't know. I don't know what they do to Nova to make it, because we've only seen travel. Have they confirmed that everything's traveling or roaming?
No,
they haven't. But every super we've seen thus far has been a roaming super.
So many questions.
If they're gonna make Nova Bomb roaming, I just figured, it'll be 3 shots with a much smaller AOE.
I have maybe the most important question ever to be asked on this podcast.
Ever.
Is it what's your favorite Pokemon? Is it?
No, that one's
second most important.
Who would win in a fight, Kevin from Home Alone or the Predator? Both of them are aware of each other's canon. Kevin has $10 million in resources. Kevin must melee kill Kevin. Well, you've ruined your own question now, Julian. You've done too much.
First of all,
he's on track for the greatest question of all time.
Kevin does not need money. The $10 million is a red herring, all right? Because he uses everyday household items for his traps. So what does he need money for?
Well,
his skill set is that he doesn't need the technology that a Predator has.
And my question would be, how much prep time does Kevin get? If he's got prep time and he knows the Predator is coming, I'd imagine he would take that $1 million, go to a Home Depot, and be unstoppable.
Yeah, literally, you can't stop him.
He just needs 2 hours. Because in the movie, he's
every time in the movie, he's like, they're gonna rob the place in 10 minutes. I better build 40 elaborate traps that would murder these men in real life.
Yeah. It's totally cool though. He's a kid.
I'm giving it. Well, here's the thing though. His classic strategy of using cardboard cutouts and shadows won't work on the Predator because the Predator has heat vision. So. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about that? I can see Kevin hooking up some. He's got some space some heated blankets like in the house. He wraps them around his cardboard cutouts to throw off the Predator. He's a smart man like that, though, so he might.
He said they're both aware of each other's canon. So Kevin knows.
He knows.
Heat vision.
Yeah. He's wrapping himself in mud, and he's throwing like space heaters all around the home to throw off the Predator's vision. It's over.
Electric blankets everywhere.
Yeah. The sticky bandits couldn't beat him. Neither could the Predator. That's all I'm saying.
Fuck are you talking about?
God damn it, Story.
What's going on about? Hey!
This pleb is
I'm
unaware
only
of
joking.
Home
I
Alone.
encourage nonsense. You know me. I'm an advocate of
Yes,
nonsense.
he loves American cinema, so I know he's seen it.
I know.
You've seen it though, right, Story? You've seen it.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. It's good.
I love it.
Good.
I watch it every Christmas.
There it is. Wow.
It comes off, and look, see, Look, don't you think that's ingenious?
I just want to say, I think Z-Dog in the chat's trying to be that guy because he said wet bandits as if he's correcting me, but they changed to the sticky bandits
They
in Home
did
Alone 2.
change it
And
to
I'm just
Sticky
saying,
Bandits.
they're both. Maybe you weren't trying to be that guy, but I'm just clarifying for everybody that I know they're originally the
That's
wet
why you
bandits,
should never
but then they're
attempt
the
to
sticky
be that
bandits.
guy. That's why you should never attempt, because
Disengage.
every time I've seen someone try and be that guy, they forget something. It's like I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy, but they're forgetting one crucial thing that stops them from being that guy.
He said he knows. We're good. We don't have to. We don't have to.
Okay,
I
he
love
does,
you, Z-Dog.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, we're good. We're good.
You get a special shout out in this podcast. We'll cut it out. We'll cut it out later. Story will edit it out.
No, I won't. Can't be asked.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Was there another question?
Pole dancer? Yeah.
I don't think
I like that. That's a good one.
That Arc Strider gameplay looks pretty cool overall. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of it, but the super looks like it has a wide reach.
A wide kill range, boy.
Yeah.
God damn. He swung that and some dude like 20 feet away was like, I like got his throat cut, buddy. It'll feel like it's going to be a way better Blade Dancer. No, you're right.
Yeah, and it's got, like I said, that might have been with the ability that increases its melee distance in Super, and
that's true.
I'm getting a year 1 Blade Dancer vibe from it, only better, and I'm digging it. I'm digging the full dance
after the beta.
Nice.
Don't even worry about it.
Probably.
Oh my gosh, who has the most sensitive microphone in the world right now that I can hear? I can hear someone showering, opening up the curtain, like.
I can't hear any of that. That's in your mind, dude.
Is it mine? Are you kidding? Maybe it's mine.
Okay, yeah. Somebody call 911. Mega fucking stroke.
I can't hear nothing like that.
Do you smell toast?
Can you smell burning feathers?
Maybe it's my microphone picking up my wife, but I didn't hear her go into the room. I just hear.
It's the sticky bandits. They broke into your house and decided to take a shower.
I'm done, man. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being part of Planet Destiny Podcast 123.
Sesame Street Counting Edition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
11, 12.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right.
We're 1 month away from the beta for Destiny 2, and these next 4 weeks cannot go past fast enough. They cannot.
Beta, beta, pizza, potato. There we go. All right. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Night, Mega. Deuces, buddy.
It's time to raid somebody, isn't it? Now.
Are we wrapping up?
Yeah.
Wrap up. Okay. 12-month wrap up. Wrap up.
Wrap it on up.
Okay.
Should we do someone small this time? Yeah.
Small.
Yeah. I was gonna do someone because they were doing a charity stream,
day.
but they just went offline. So I guess I'll just go
Son of a
fuck
bitch.
myself instead. Yeah. That's fine.
Oh, no. He's just doing raids.
Let's take a look at who's streaming in the Destiny directory.
It's like how low do we want to go?
How low?
How low do you want to go?
Do we want to go?
How low do you want to go?
SS Pups.
Huh?
SS Pups is streaming some Destiny. Estonian PvP player.
Estonian.
Extraordinaire. He's a good lad. He's a good
Do it.
lad.
It sounds
If
exotic.
story
I like it.
vouches for him, then he's
Do it.
he's
I
family to
do.
me now.
Do it.
He's family to me now.
Incredibly skilled PvP
Get
player.
its fam.
Do it. Hit it. There it is.
Rated. Tell him PD sent you.
Just pips.
Peace out. See you next weekend.
Yeah, man. Should I press this
no.
stop streaming button? Is that what that does? No.
I think that's what that does. That's what the
Okay.
McCree does.
And audio off.